All right, guys, today we are working on a car that I bought probably 16 to 18 years ago. I wound up giving it to my dad, and this is what happened. He drove it for a couple of years after me and him fixed it. It was wrecked, and he wound up giving the car away. Well, I just got the car back, which is a good thing because I had like probably got $1,000 in this car. So we are working on a 1993 Honda Civic, and it's been sitting up for a number of years, and it's a two-door. And when I bought it, it had 120,000 miles on it. It's got 351,000 miles on it now. So I didn't realize it had that many miles, but it was a free car. And it's got lots of good parts on it. It's a two-door coupe. I like coupes. I prefer the hatchbacks. So we're gonna see if we can get this thing running and driving, because I have reasons. I have my reasons. It's cars and cameras related. If we get this thing running, then I'll be sure to tell y'all exactly what is going on. So the battery, 2011. So that battery is 14 years old. Dude, we're gonna try to jump start it. I'm gonna grab my jumper cables and we're gonna hook it up to my truck. And we're gonna check the oil and coolant, and we're gonna see what happens. So let me put this camera down so I can get my jumper cables and hook up the battery. These are some very good jumper cables, and I'm hoping that just adding them to my battery, there'll be enough juice to turn over that little baby 1.6 liter. All right, so the jumper cables are hooked up. Oh, let's check the oil. Look at the cobwebs. Wow. It might be might not be any oil in it. All right, it's barely touching. We're gonna add a little bit of oil to it. I've got some right here under the hood of my truck. Half a quart ought to do. Let's see if we got any coolant. It's full of coolant. I mean, it's not looking too bad. It's been sitting a long time. A little worried about the water pump. Fuel pump, not water pump. So it's been sitting a long time. My hopes are not very high on the fuel pump even working. So let's just check the fuel. Oh, the cap doesn't. Oh yeah, it's very varnishy. No high hopes here. Key on. I don't hear a fuel pump. Change tone. Come on, baby, crank up. key won't pull out. So I had to have a key made for it this morning from the Honda dealership. I can't even get it to back out. Come on, baby. All right, so I'm gonna spray some brake clean in there, starter fluid or something, and see if it wants to hit at all. So yeah, it's not looking good. I'm gonna take this loose and we're gonna spray into the intake with some brake clean. And we're gonna fire it up. So it'll fire up on a flammable source. So yeah, pretty much the fuel pump is dead. Probably the fuel tank is just gummed up with nastiness. So we're gonna have to figure a good way to run this thing. Maybe I'll hook up a carburetor or something. Yeah, it's not gonna run. All right, guys, well, it was a valiant effort, so I'm gonna look into what it's gonna take for replacing the fuel pump. Yep, but the body's not too bad. 351 thou. All right, so I went to the store and I got an inline fuel pump. I'm gonna do something that I wouldn't recommend anybody do. I'm gonna be putting an inline fuel pump right here at the fuel filter. And I just wanna say fuel pumps are pushers, not pullers. And where I'm gonna be hooking this up, it's going to turn it into a puller. So it might work, but it probably won't work for long. I only want it to work long enough to get the thing running. It is a replaceable part. The line is looking pretty old and cracked up, so it's a replaceable part, so I don't see a problem here. It's not like I'm cutting into metal and stuff. So and it's right next to the battery, which means I'll just straight wire the fuel pump. So let me go grab the fuel pump and something to cut the line. Let's get this thing installed. All right, so I've got a fuel pump here and I run some wires to it. So all I've got to do is cut that line, put this in line, and we're gonna see if we have anything in the tank. I'm gonna just try to pull whatever's in the tank out. And if I do that and it looks like it'll burn, I'll try to run it. If not, I've got some hose and I've got a fuel tank. I'll just pull some fresh fuel. So a little snip, snip. See what we got. A little snip, snip. All right, so we'll get this right here. And let's just we're gonna hook up a hose to this end. So if anything comes out, it'll go on in a bucket, because we don't want to leak fuel near the battery. All right, so I've got some wires here. We're gonna hook it up to the battery. Don't move. All right, here we go. I might have to prime it. What was that? All right, well, nothing seems to be happening, so let's see about getting a fresh tank. We're gonna hook it up, and I'm gonna pinch off I hope it's a rubber line. Yes, I'm gonna pinch off the return line so I don't get fresh fuel going back into the tank. All right, so I'm gonna go get some gasoline. All right, so I went in the shop and I grabbed a go-kart tank, hooking up to the fuel pump. I'm gonna hook it up in line. I'm gonna plug off the original, well, maybe I can pull the fuse. Is there a fuel pump relay or? And we are gonna pinch off the fuel return. This pump that I got, it has a working pressure of 45 to 47 psi. Well, that's what it needs to run this car, 47 to 40, like 45 psi, something like that. 45 to 47 psi is what those injectors work at. So deadheading it by pinching off the return, it's gonna be fine. So let me hook this thing up and see what I get. All right, let's put some fuel in this thing. Let's see what happens when we power it up. So right now I do not have the fuel return plugged off. I'm gonna let it kind of bleed out. So positive, negative. Ooh, we have a leaking injector or something. That was let me show y'all what I've got. That's not good. That's gonna stop me right there. Definitely a problem. This is gonna stop me dead in my tracks. It's a bad injector. It's split. Oh, all of them are split. So it's got bad injectors. Okay, well, I'm gonna try to crank it right here because with no pressure. I just want to see what happens, but bad injectors. That sucks. See, it wants to run because it had a little bit of fuel in there, but it's just not going to do it. You know what? I'll check on injectors. Why not? So I called up the local parts store and they want $130 a piece for the injectors. $130 a piece. I've got definitely 2 bad injectors here because they're spraying fuel, but if I'm going to do 2, I might as well do 4. So I'm going to spend $500 on injectors on this car? I don't think so. I'm going to do a little shopping, which is a shame because this was a really good plan, let me tell you. All right. Maybe I can order some off of Amazon or something. All right. I'll talk to John about it when he gets out here. Meanwhile, I'm done for the day, so we'll see y'all in a second. So I found on Amazon 4 injectors for 45 bucks from Amazon. Oh, I can only imagine how this is gonna go. I'm gonna put them in. Hopefully they're the same, and hopefully it'll even run for 40 bucks. I'm not expecting these to last very long, but here we go. Let's get them unpackaged, get the fuel rail off of this car. It's got, I think it's got like 2 10mm nuts holding it on. Should be able to pop those injectors loose, unplug them electrically, and swap them out pretty easy. So 15 minutes I should be running with these injectors if it'll run. Okay, so a little tip on these injectors, there are some clips that you have to just kind of move out of the way, and then you pull up on the electrical. It's a 2-hand job and I'm trying to do it one-handed. There we go. And then I pop these back into place. So bada boom, bada bing. What a wonderful thing. All right, all the electrical is undone. Now we're gonna get the 2 10mm nuts, remove them. Fuel rail and the injectors. All right guys, so don't buy these from eBay. They do not fit your 96 Honda Civic with 1.6 in it. The electrical plugs are different. So what I did was I found some used injectors that are gonna work. I've already got them installed. Now I'm gonna hook them up. Well, I'm gonna put the fuel rail back on, and hopefully they'll work. I mean, they've been sitting around a while. I'm hoping they're okay. That's all I could do, because I gotta have this thing running today. Because I'm at the Cars and Cameras headquarters, and we got a project that, I'll just say it, got a project here. John said it was going to sound like something. I was like, there's no way. It's going to sound like a Honda Civic with open exhaust. So when this thing fires up, I'm going to unbolt the exhaust on this thing and do a little drive-by, and it's going to sound exactly like our project that we've been working on, I guarantee you. All right, let me get this fuel rail on. Sweet, we have fuel pressure. Let's hook it up and hit the key. Cranking. It runs. It runs. Look at that. And it smokes. We do have a cylinder misfire. Let's see if we can find it. That one works. That one does not. Cylinder 2 does not run. And I believe I'm out of fuel. I am. All right. So, not bad. So what I'm gonna have to do is pull out cylinder number 2. And we are going to have to check the spark plug and go from there. Let's hook up the negative. And let's try firing this thing up. Hopefully it doesn't have a stuck injector causing that cylinder misfire. There we go. What is going on? All right, let's disconnect. See if it runs better. Okay, so you have to have that, otherwise it doesn't run. I do believe I'm out of fuel. I am. Hey.
Are you
I'm going a little extra.
telling your buddies on your channel the inhospitable work environment?
Yeah, it's like past 9 o'clock at night.
9:16.
Yeah.
He's still working with it.
And I don't know what's going on. But guys, as y'all, what y'all didn't see was the car died. And what it was, the distributor died on the Honda, so I couldn't finish the video, and I don't have time to finish it now because I got some special stuff going on at Cars and Cameras. Not gonna show you, but we got a bunch of guys. Come here, guys. Come on and get in on this. We got a bunch of guys over here.
We're like recreating that never mind.
Come on, guys, get in here. All right.
What do we get?
So guys, say thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all later.
Thanks for watching. We'll catch you all later.
All right.
That was a good one, guys.
Wow. Yeah. Happy Father's Day, Dad. That's it.